And we are just packing up to get going on our little campsite on the side of Goldstone Mountain, which actually had cow poop, meaning there are some cows that like to climb mountains out here apparently. So while it was a little rocky back here, we found a dirt patch underneath one of the trees. And overall it was a nice spot. Wind was making the tent flap just a little bit. We are currently 42 miles from Ledor, which is our next resupply spot. That means over the next 2 days, we kind of got to either make a little bit of a longer day so we can get in tomorrow night, which would be ideal from the perspective of presumably having access to plugs that we can use to charge overnight so we don't lose a bunch of time. Otherwise, we'll be staying near the trailhead, going in early in the morning on the third day, and we'll lose about half a day charging, going through the resupply box, things like that. At this point, our schedule is basically dictated by the need to get taters to Lima in order to be to West Yellowstone on the 11th and fly out on the 12th. Hey, buddy. Grouse. So it is currently August 4th, and our big plan is to hopefully make it to Lima on the 10th. Once Taters departs and I'm back on my own, then the whole schedule just reverts to needing to make it through southern Colorado before the weather gets too bad. I'm really not the sort that minds being alone out here. You know, I enjoy solo hiking at times, but it is always, well, based on the last couple of years, it has been a hard adjustment every time, going from having Jen around to now it's just me. Takes a little while to get used to the solitude, I guess. And on days where things are really going bad, it's really a comfort having her there. Plus her overall kind of cheerfulness, especially in the morning, is very nice to have around. So I haven't been feeling great. I've been dragging a bit, and so I was expecting to find Jen when I got to 703.4, which is basically where we head off the trail to get to a water source. And I just got here and no luck. She basically went ahead by about 15 plus minutes because I stayed back, which she knew, to upload an episode where I had reception. And I found her. Somebody went past the meeting spot inadvertently.
I'm so sorry. The trail was just like so easy, and you got me listening to this really good book. And
blame it on the trail.
Yeah, the time just, it was like I blinked and I was 3 miles down the trail.
Dude, can I blink and be 3 miles down the trail? So all's well, she just overshot by about a mile. She got a little too into her book and just hadn't noticed she went past. We're actually down a side road because this is one of those cases where a comment mentioned a water source. If you just stick to the water source markers in far out, it looks like this is a 20-mile dry stretch, which we could do, but an 11-mile dry stretch is a bit more pleasant.
A lot of things. Staying at Woodbridge does.
So this is our bathroom stop for the afternoon, and also our last water. We're gonna have to fill up here for like another 15-mile dry section, I think it is. So we're going to carry for the latter half of the day heavy. We seem to be in a bit of a wind tunnel, even the signs have been blown over. On the plus side, when the wind's blowing this hard, we won't have to smell ourselves, so there is that. So this is yet another example where we have to go off trail for water. Down this road, there's supposed to be a spring that's flowing. And this is the old Sacagawea Memorial. So apparently this is potentially the most distant headwaters of the Missouri. Okay, we might not be able to start paddling here though. If we paddled into the Missouri. Yeah, though Ronnie might have been the one that opened fire out of the cab at that stage.
No, that was Rick, and that was a different
Oh,
dog.
okay, that's good to know. So my feet have been having some issues that we think are sweat related, because these shoes don't breathe quite as much, and that is something I'm prone to, being a very sweaty individual. So we decided to go ahead and take a break and do ramen. Now we have to do at least 4 miles to hit our 22-mile kind of break even, and ideally a few more, because we need to be set up to get into Ledor early as we can. Oh, so first on this trail, we're on another section where the Blaze trail and the trail that other people describe doesn't match the red line. So unfortunately my feet seem to have taken a turn for the worst again. As near as I can tell, it's my feet sweating inside these heavier boots. So at this point the plan is get to Ledor, get the other Olympuses, try those, and not have any inserts. This is just exhausting and frustrating though. I've basically been walking for most of the last couple of weeks with every step hurting, and these are long days to be having that. The only thing that seems to help them a little bit has been, getting off my feet, waiting overnight. But unfortunately, we are kind of on the razor's edge here as far as we have to make certain miles every day to make Lima in time for Jen to be able to depart.
We hiked a little bit later tonight, trying to get set up so we would just have 20 miles to do into Ledor tomorrow. So that's why it's a little darker. It's about 9:20 by the time we got the tent set up. Looking at a pretty sunset through the trees. Home sweet home for the night.